Mulawanji, everyone. Welcome to UmoyoTalks, the Umoyo podcast where we talk to interesting people about health. And today it's going to be all about fitness because I have Henry Chuchu Mukasa in the studio. Welcome, Henry.
Thank you. It's my little slogan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Henry has been placed on the podium for the Zambia Day of Fitness 5 times, and he has actually won it 4 times in a row, being crowned the fittest man in Zambia. Not only is he passionate about his own health, but also getting other people healthy. He coaches currently at Crossfit Amaka in Zambia.
Yeah.
So we have just come out of the Zambia Day of Fitness.
Oh, gosh, thank goodness.
Tell us about your experience with that competition.
Oh, man.
Because that is really the premier fitness competition in Zambia, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. And I mean, with the Zambia Day of Fitness, it's giving you like a little backstory from the beginning. It was I had no idea that it used to happen, and I would just exercise and work out and whatever the case with no incentive besides looking good, and then someone comes to me one day like, hey, you should try out for this thing. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And it's like a week away, and I jump in and I do it, and then I scooped it the first time and I was like, okay, this is great. And then I just kind of carried on. And this last one was very nerve-wracking because it was like out of my comfort zone, to be honest. And so it was it's amazing. It's like it reminds me of why I personally do, like fitness in the first place, and that's just like personally improving and things like that. It's like a nice milestone to set because it kind of reminds you of, a little bit of your weaknesses and things that you can work on. And I think in some way, it's like it's one of the biggest things that gives me like motivation to carry on, because then you're like, I didn't do so well in that movement, so I kind of need to strengthen this, and then you have like little goals that you set every day, and you just kind of attain them, and attaining those little goals bit by bit just kind of they motivate you to keep going. Yeah. You have the big goal, the biggest goal that you want to achieve, but you got to have like those little tiny goals to achieve, and I think that really helps.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was it was all of the emotions, all of the above. It was a roller coaster of emotions, exciting, scared, and just nervous.
Well, I remember many years ago coming to watch the Zambia Day of Fitness when it was in a car park in a shopping mall.
Yeah,
it's come a very long way, and I'm
It really
sure
has.
also the caliber of athletes have improved over the years.
It has.
Yeah, maybe comment a little bit about that.
When it started out, the very first time, I think I recall the one you came to see, I think that was like the second one. And it was in a car park, it was, they did the best that they could with organization and, trying to get people. At the time, fitness was kind of big, it was like people were doing specific things, maybe running and, aerobics to, stuff like that. And this is like something different that was brought to the market. And so there was not a lot of competitors. It's kind of the same people that you see in the gym, and they're kind of, like workout disciplines and regimes were a little bit different from what the competition had to offer. So, over the years, I think it's grown a little bit more with growing awareness with new people, and then more athletes are starting to turn up because I think people are starting to understand that there's more to fitness than bicep curls.
Yeah. And maybe training specifically for the competition as well.
For the competition itself, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's becoming harder to win every year, I'm sure.
It is becoming harder to win because then I don't know where these guys are coming from, but which is great. It's great because I think generally the whole concept of fitness and being an athlete is just is changing in a lot of people, and I see it because then a few athletes that were competing with me from the beginning, they just brought a different level of A game this year.
And of course, we should mention it's not just the fittest man in Zambia; it's also the fittest
woman
in
exactly,
Zambia.
Fittest woman.
And
fittest
how did
man.
the women perform this year?
Oh gosh, it was fantastic. That it's very interesting because like the women's side is like it's the competition amongst the men's side is like between a few people. The top dogs, so you would say. And then with the ladies, they're also fit, and they come from different backgrounds, and you see different women win every year. So that says something as opposed to the men's side. We had somebody else win this year. Last year was somebody else. The year prior was somebody else. And I feel like the competition is a little bit more stiff on the women's side. Because then it's like they just want like one person just hold it. They just keep knocking each other off the top. Yeah, which is really good. Yeah.
So I'm sure you learned a lot of lessons in this year's competition as
Oh, yeah.
every year, and we'll be
yeah.
applying them. But what, this is obviously just limited to Zambia. Do
Yeah.
you have bigger aspirations with regards to your fitness and competition?
Like in relation to Zambia, yes, I actually do. You know, I mean, despite me being an athlete and being a coach, you know, between those two positions, I feel like I would love to see this competition grow, you know, in itself, and I would like to find out ways that I can be a part of it and still be able to compete, because obviously if you're part of the organization, you're not going to be able to, you know,
You can't write the
you
program
can't, exactly,
and
you can't write the
compete.
program and then compete. But I would really love to find a way to be a part of the program and just find a way to grow it, because I feel like it's very beneficial to, you know, to our athletes and just the average person, you know, because you look at what it was like the first year that I did it and what it's like now. We're focusing a lot more on the awareness of fitness, so we're including a lot more runners, and you know, like, well, they are including a lot more runners, and you know, cyclists and everything. They're just trying as much as possible to grow their awareness. And so
and they had a kids competition
they had
as
a
well.
kids competition, yeah, which was really great.
Yeah.
So I think my aspirations, to be honest, like, you know, like just in Zambia, of course, is get back up to that fittest man in Zambia first of all, get back up there, and then generally I would just really love to see how I can be a part of, you know, like just growing the awareness of fitness and especially health,
Yeah.
you know, to the community. Yeah,
Okay.
in this nation. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, when you talk about fitness, Henry, I can tell how passionate you are. And obviously, I've seen you train. I know how much work and dedication you put into your fitness. Where does that passion come from? What is it about fitness that you love? Because when you're doing it, it's hard. I mean, you feel like you're going to die kind of thing.
Why did I wake up?
Yeah. So what keeps you going? Where does that passion come from?
You know, like right now, it is what keeps me going is my goals. As like just like everybody else, you know, it's like there's a place that I want to get to, and I know that I can get there. You know, and it's just about putting in the work and getting there, and I understand that. But as to where it actually came from before, because I wasn't always passionate about fitness. I mean, I like working out. Everyone likes to look good, you know, so I'd like to work out every now and then. And my aspirations before still is to be a pilot, you know, be able to fly, and just for the passion of it as well. And I remember in the beginning, it was all about myself and going to the gym and just work out, you know, go to work and things like that. And then I'd help a few people here and there. And one of I don't recall the lady's name, but one of the ladies I helped the one time, and you know, I just gave her tips every now and then, and it wasn't anything official. And then one day she attained some of her goals, and she was just very excited, you know, and she came to me to share it. And I felt it was very overwhelming to me to be a part of someone. I mean, I just saw it as a little goal that she attained, but for her, she saw it as I played a part in changing her life, because like it changed her entire lifestyle, and she kept on. And if you see her now, she's just amazing, you know. And that right there, that just, you know, it started burning a fire in me that just never died. Yeah. Okay. And so that is, for me, that is like very, very, that's a big win for me already. And so that's what derived the passion to start this in the beginning, and then setting my own goals, and then just marrying those two things together. It just won't die. I don't think it is gonna die ever. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And it's such a wonderful passion to have, of course, you know?
Yeah.
Because it has so many positive benefits. There are so many different styles and modalities of fitness. Yeah. And maybe you can comment also a little bit about when we say fitness, what do we mean, and how does it differ from sport? Yeah. And then all these different modalities, you know, what have you tried? What do you like? What works?
Yeah. You know, to be honest, it's like when it comes to doing something for your body, everything works. You know, everything works. If you do it the right way, it's going to give you results, right? It depends on what you're looking for and things like that. I've tried so many things. I've gone into bodybuilding. I used to do that before. I did a lot of like aerobic workouts, like boot camps and things like that, until I fell in love with cross training, you know, CrossFit to be specific. And what I found there was that it was basically a combination of everything that I tried before. You know, I couldn't decide. I was into boot camp. I was into the bodybuilding. I never really touched Olympic weightlifting on its own, but I did do a little bit of gymnastics, calisthenics here and there, until I found CrossFit. And then I found something that combines everything all in one and doesn't just focus on, your aesthetics, but as well as your performance, your nutrition, your health. And then to talk about the difference between sport and fitness, it's like, being fit is, a lot of people would think it's how you look or anything like that. No, it's just being at the best of your, ability with yourself, at the person, like, with your body, you eat great, you're not, you don't get out of breath with, simple things. You can run, you can climb something, you can hike, you can lift something up to a certain.
It gives you a certain level of confidence.
It does give you a certain level of confidence, and to be honest, it's more functional because it's things that you can use on your day to day. You know what I mean? You can kind of get into any activity without having to worry about the capability of your body. And then the sport, it's basically it's where we take our fitness and just have fun with it, connect with people, and and just see where we're at with where our fitness has gone. And it's I think generally for me it's like the fitness of it, the fitness part of it is one of the most important things, and then the sport part of it is it's a community, basically.
How have you seen fitness change in Zambia over the last, say, 10 years?
Yeah.
How has it progressed? What were people doing in the past, and what are they kind of interested in now?
Yeah.
What's happening on the scene?
It's like right now, I'll tell you now, back in the day, having like a pot belly and everything was actually a sign of wealth. It's
wealth and good fortune.
Wealth and good fortune. It's oh, you must eat very well. But like now you see more and more people get into fitness. And in the beginning, it started out with just running, and you'd see people jogging in the streets and walking and things like that. And then a few more things were introduced on the scene, like boot camps. But then the biggest thing that's very big here in Zambia is aerobics. That pulls numbers like no man's business. They love aerobics, and it's fantastic. You have fun with it. You're dancing, and it's music and fitness, and that's a very good combination. And then now more and more you're seeing people experiment with new things, like calisthenics is kind of coming into the groove, and Crossfit is coming into the groove. Bodybuilding has always been like a big part of people when it comes to like working out. They're always hitting the gym, doing some bench presses and squats and things like that. And I always advise my clients to try out, to try out new things every single time, because that's basically what I do, CrossFit. That's what it's about. It's always about trying out new things, and when you're like a well-conditioned CrossFit athlete, you're competent in almost everything. So it's very important for you to try things out. Play a sport. Try out some Olympic weightlifting. Go do some gymnastics. There's a calisthenics class somewhere. Go try it out. Just explore. Learn something from there. Make sure that you're nice and comfortable in it, and just the most important thing is just have fun with it.
And I find that when we're young, we're constantly learning new things.
Yes.
But as we get older, we kind of stop unless we actually push ourselves.
Exactly.
So through the fitness and CrossFit and having that base level of fitness, what you're saying is that you can learn new things and have fun with it.
Fun is the most important thing, exactly.
Wonderful. So it seems like with the fitness, you went into it because you want to look good.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. We all want to look good. Yeah. But then you got so many other things that came out of it. And I'm just wondering, I'm sure you see that in your clients as well. They come to the gym, perhaps, it would be interesting to know what are the main things that people want to achieve when they come and see you first. Yeah. And how does that change over time?
It's like, over 50% of my clients, when they come in for the very first time, it's, they want to look good naked, or they want to, lose a pot belly here, tone their arms here. It's like, hey, I want Michelle Obama arms, and things like that. And like, there's no problem, there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever motivates you, right? Whatever drives you to getting that step in the right direction. And they come in, and then what I've noticed is that for most of them, I've had like a couple that came in to CrossFit. And they started out, when they came in, they're like, oh, I just want to lose some weight, and I want to do this and I want to do that. And then they just fell in love with the community and fell in love with, the fun of the workouts, because then again, having fun with it is one of the most important things. So now they don't even worry about, you rarely see them jump on a scale. Matter of fact, I don't remember the last time I've seen them ask about a scale or check their weight. It's it's not even about that anymore. Now it's just a lifestyle.
That's almost like
You
a
know?
fringe benefit. That
Exactly,
you get.
yeah. It's like a fringe benefit, you know, from a lifestyle that you've created for yourself. And now it's just, they just have fun with it. You know, they come in, they enjoy the workouts, they enjoy the fact that they're getting a little bit stronger and a little bit fitter, you know, and feeling, you know, just feeling more confident in themselves. And that is like, that's very, I see that happen a lot. You know, you come for one thing and then you just stay for another, you know, for the enjoyment of it and the fun of it.
Yeah, and obviously science has shown us also
Yeah.
categorically the
Yeah.
benefits of exercise
Yeah.
for our physical health, but also for our mental
For
health.
your mental health, exactly. That is a huge, you know, it's like a big when I'm coaching most of my clients, it's like I try to think of myself as you're not just a coach, you know, like training somebody for their fitness or for their health and whatever the case, but you're also training someone's mental. That, you know, telling somebody, you know, you can do it, just, you know, one more rep, you know, push past the, you know, the breaking point. And also, but you have to also be able to understand where, you know, where you need to make them, you know, where to stop them and how far you can push them. But those little, you know, motivational mantras and chants that you shout to them, it just, in some way, it shows them that you could, I mean, physically, yes, you can push past a certain point where you feel, you know, you're in pain and you push past it, and then once it's done and you feel better about it. That applies a lot in a lot of things, you know, when it comes to working with your mentor. It's like you basically teaching somebody in the sense that you find yourself in these tough situations, you know, you can push past that point and just do the best that you can, you know, with the best that you can at your capability right there and then, and that at some point, in some way, metaphorically speaking, it comes to an end. And then after that, it's just something you can laugh about. Oh my gosh, that was tough.
Yeah.
But I went through it.
So that mental toughness
that mental
carries
toughness,
over into everyday
it
life.
carries over into everyday life,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just...
And it's what we talked about before, that confidence. It gives you that confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It gives you that confidence, yeah. And so it's just like, I mean, it's also just helping athletes and clients understand that your health is just as, you know, your physical health is just as important as, you know, your mental health is just as important as your physical health.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take care of that as well. Yeah.
And the ladies that come and see you as clients or who train with you, is strong the new sexy?
You know,
are ladies wanting to become strong now, or is that changing?
They are definitely wanting to become strong. You know, I see it a lot. We have what we call RX weights at CrossFit. And
maybe explain what that is.
Okay, so RX is as prescribed, you know, like prescription, like a prescribed weight. When you come up with a workout, you have, you know, it has a certain stimulus and a certain goal in what you want, you know, what you want athletes to achieve in that workout. So you prescribe a certain weight. Okay, guys, I want you guys to move fast at a lightweight, or I want you to move a little bit slow and steady at a heavy weight, you know, to build strength, things like that. So the first thing you see when athletes come in, especially the ladies, they go straight to the board where we take down the scores and they look at, what did this person do? Oh my gosh, they pushed this hard. I think I'm going to be able to do this. Coach, this is what I did the last time. Do you think I'll be able to do what? They're constantly trying to improve. You know, they look at their goals board, we take down their goals, which is also a good thing. You know, like we celebrate the little goals at CrossFit, and, you know, we put up little goals on the goals board. You know, we've got a bell that they ring when they get a personal record, which is something they haven't done before. And it's mostly strength when you look at it, and skill as well, of course, but that's also just all improvement. So I guess strong is the new sexy, because they're always trying to get stronger. And now I'm seeing them competing with the men, so men better watch out. Yeah, it's fun. It's good fun.
So maybe people who haven't been exercising, who might be listening into this or watching this, what would be your top tips for them to get into an exercise routine? How often should they be exercising? How long should they be exercising? What kind of exercises should they be doing? Some of your top tips that have helped clients in the past.
You know, like with most of my clients, and in the beginning when I started out, most of my tips were, hey, exercise about this long a day, do this, you know, try to do this, try to do that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? You gotta advise people when they don't know what they're doing. But right now, my biggest tip to a lot of people is just find your niche in fitness. Once you find something that makes it fun for you, you're not gonna wanna stop. Because we can tell you as much as we can how often you should exercise, how long you should exercise, but when it's not fun, you're not motivated enough to get up and go. You know, and a lot of people, yes, they have their goals, but sometimes those are not enough to wake you up and, you know, to force you from snoozing that alarm and wake up and go do it. You know, you have to find what's fun for you. You know, and I think that is by far the biggest tip that I can give somebody, because then once you start having fun with it, like I mentioned with some of my clients that come in for one goal, and whatever the case. Because what happens is that, say you set a goal and you say, okay, fine, I want to get a flat tummy, or I want to do this, I'm going to exercise maybe 30 minutes a day, you know, and I'm gonna eat more greens, and I'm gonna do more of this, and whatever the case. When a month goes by and you know you check the scale and you check your weight and you find maybe there hasn't been much progress, it's very demotivating. But once you start having fun with it and you surround yourself with the people that are like-minded, you know, the people that just want to have fun with it with you, and you'll have a group and everything like that, that's going to become a lifestyle faster than you can say lifestyle itself. You know, because then like finding a way to have fun with it and finding a way to just finding a fitness discipline or whatever it may be. It could be dance fitness, it could be yoga to start with, you know, it could be running, whatever it is. Just find a way to make it fun for you. And
so that you can build it into your life.
So you can build it into your life. And then once you find a way to make it fun for you, and then it becomes a habit and you do it constantly, then you can start looking at, okay, what can I do at home, or whatever the case, you know. And it's things as basic as squats and push-ups and some pull-ups, you know, some running, as well as eating healthy, you know. And when we say eating healthy, we're not talking about, hey, tell you what, you're going to eat broccoli every day, you know, for the rest of your life, and, you know, no meat or whatever the case. Just, hey, get maybe healthier meat and prepare it better. You know, get a healthier oil, you know, just watch your vitamins and how often you're taking your vitamins and how much water you're drinking and things like that. Those little things make a huge difference in the long term.
And I think one of the things that people maybe make a mistake is that they try and do everything at once. They want to get the perfect exercise routine so many times a week and then change their diet completely, and it's maybe a bit too much. So maybe start a little bit slowly.
Very slow, start slowly,
And then also I find from personal experience that, you know, in the beginning with your new exercise routine, it's gonna hurt. You're not gonna feel so good, and you have to stick to it. So you just gotta push through those first few weeks, right? And then your body kind of gets used to it, and then it becomes more fun, and you can have a bit more enjoyment with it as well.
Exactly. I mean, it's like the first episode of every show. Once you go past the first episode, you start to enjoy everything else. I mean, the beginning is it's not always easy. You know, I always tell my clients it's they're called DOMS, you know, delayed onset muscle soreness. And, you know, that's inevitable. That's going to happen. When you exercise, you get those micro tears in your muscles, and then, you know, they have to heal the next day. So you promote blood flow, you know, so you have to continue. I always tell my clients, hey, come for the first workout. It's going to hurt. But when you come in the next day, you know, and work through it, and the day after, and then after the first week, it's going to start to get easier, because then the body is adaptive. And what happens is it's why we take all these vaccines and everything, because then you throw in those little bacteria, and the body is forced to, you know, to create antibodies, because it needs to adapt to that situation. And so that's what happens. You're in a new environment, you're putting your body in a different level of stress than you normally do. So the body is going to be forced to adapt. Says, hey, I'm going to have to develop a little bit of muscle to be able to survive this. And so you give it time. You know, a lot of people will come for the first few sessions and it's like, no, this is difficult, it hurts, it does this, it's that. But it's part of the process. I mean, we go drinking on the weekends and we get the hangovers, but we never stop, right?
Because you forget.
Exactly.
But no, it's true. One of my favorite quotes is, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you.
It won't change you, exactly. I mean, easy never makes tough.
That's another good one.
That's a good one.
So yes, we've been talking a lot about exercise, and you just mentioned a little bit now, you know, that is just one part of the puzzle. There's so many other things that make us healthy and feeling good, and nutrition is a huge part of that. Where do you see people go wrong with their nutrition? What are the biggest pitfalls that you've come across?
You know, the biggest pitfalls about nutrition is, first of all, is the start. Like we just talked about now, you know, going into it slowly and doing whatever the case. The thing about it is that when you go into it, you know, like you go into it like hardcore, you say, all right, I'm going to start fitness tomorrow and exercising, and I'm going to do my nutrition. And the first thing you do is that immediately out of, you know, from eating your regular foods and your Hungry Lions and whatever the case to just boom, keto diet, you would most likely you go into a detox. You're going to, At some point, it's just going to be like, okay, you know, it's going to be one day you have a little bit of a chocolate or whatever the case, and then it goes on, right? You carry on. And I mean, it's, when it comes to like nutrition and avoiding the usual traps that people fall into, it's, first of all, as we said, starting very slowly. You know, start by changing the little things that you can change.
Don't try and be perfect from day one.
Exactly.
Yes.
You change the little things, you know, slowly, and then eventually you start looking at, again, having fun with it and enjoying it. You have to be able to find a way to still have the food that you enjoy so much, just healthier. you know. And then this one is like a very big, people are notorious about this, but like, you know, staying away from all these processed, you know, simple sugars, the chocolates and the...
But we're addicted to them.
We're addicted to them, yeah. It's because they're so delicious.
They're so delicious, and sugar is addictive in all the chemicals and things that they put in there. I mean, they try to make the foods addictive, right?
They try to make the foods addictive.
We'll come back
exactly.
for them.
People will come back for them.
Yeah.
But again, it's like once you get into a habit of trying to change this into your lifestyle and having fun with it, it's going to be very easy for you to make, you know, healthier choices. And at the same time, you don't have to not eat what you enjoy to be fit and healthy. Again, you just have to either controlled portions or on controlled days, or just find a healthier way to have them, you know, and things like that. It's just a lot of people have this idea that you know, if I'm, you know, eating healthy is all greens and it's no, you know, no this, no that. And yes, that's true to some extent, but then at the same time, it's like, just like anything else, if you put yourself in a position that's extremely uncomfortable, you're most likely not going to continue. Yeah.
So talking about addictive things,
yes.
there is this bar here. I'm just going to show it up to the camera here. It's called Chuchus Bar. Now this is addictive, I can tell you, because I've eaten many of these, but very positive for your health, very nutritious bar. And this was developed by you, a budding entrepreneur as well. Tell us a little bit about how this bar came about.
So, you know, with these protein bars, in the beginning, I kind of got, you know, like a little bit tired with telling my clients, oh, hey, you know, you can have a protein bar if you haven't, you know, if you had maybe like a very early lunch and you're coming for exercise, you can have a protein bar. But then they're like, what's the best protein bar you can have? And then you go into the store-bought ones and it's all these sugars and the preservatives and all these things that they add to them. And I'm like, oh, man. And then that wasn't really quite what sparked me, you know, doing this. I mean, I like to create my own things, you know, when it comes to furniture, a little bit of things that I can do, you know, like, you know, crafts and everything. And so I figured, hey, let me just, you know, make some protein bars that I can have, you know, like personally, because I love eating these things. But then I was trying to get a little bit healthier with, you know, with what I eat and controlling what I can control. So then I started researching some recipes, and what I found online had a little bit of things, you know, that they added that didn't quite fit with me. So then I started, you know, like playing around with recipes and, you know, and until I found what I thought was the perfect recipe for now. And everything is 100% healthy. There's zero added sugar, zero added preservatives. They last long in the fridge when you keep them refrigerated. And I mean, they taste really great. You know, you look at the ingredients that I came up with. You know, when I first started them, I was like, you know, I'm going to make a protein bar. You know, I wanted to have high protein and, you know, just high energy. I'm like, okay, that's great. Then I thought, hey, I could go the extra mile. And then I figured, how about just making a nutrition bar? You know, it doesn't have to be just protein or just energy. So I figured, get some potassium in there somehow, get some omega-3s in there somehow. So, you know, toss in all these fun ingredients and everything like that. And then I came up with this nutrition bar, which I think is very beneficial to people's health when, you know, when you have it. Because then, like, you get more potassium than what you get in bananas. You get all of these vitamins and all these nutritious benefits that you get from, not from the regular foods that you eat every day. And, you know, so you got to find a way to get those vitamins and nutritions in. And that's that was my answer to that problem.
Yeah, and I can vouch for it. It's very delicious, very delicious. So, Henry, if people want to find out more, connect with you, train with you, what's the best way to get a hold of you? How can they connect?
So they can, first of all, the place that I'm found every single day that's a home away from home is CrossFit Amaka. Yeah, it's in Leopards Hill. They can go to our page. It's CrossFit Amaka on Instagram, on Facebook. And they can reach out to me through there, or they can follow me on my Instagram. I'm Henry Chuchu.
Tell us about Chuchu. The name Chuchu, because that's not a given name, right?
And
it's the name of your...
It's the name of my buzz.
Yeah.
You know, funny story, I actually hated this name in the beginning. Like from before, I've been called Chuchu my whole life. You know, my family, parents and uncles and everything, there was an old show called No One But You, you know, and it was, there was a character there, I don't know if it was Chuchu or Chucho, but there was a character named, you know, under that name, and apparently I looked like him a lot. And so they started calling me that, and over the years it changed to Chuchu because it also means small in my language. I'm Kaonde. So Chuchu means small, you know, and I was a pretty small baby. So they started calling me that from before, and I hated the name. I hated it in the beginning. I was like, wait, they call me Chuchu, I've got a name, it's Henry, you know, or whatever the case. And then eventually it caught on, and everybody, I was just like, if you can't beat them, you join them. And it actually has a nice ring to it, you know, it's Chuchu. So then, I just
embraced it now.
Yeah, exactly. I embraced it, and so I went for it, and now it's a part of a brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So what does the future hold for you? What are you excited about going forward?
Man, there's a whole lot that I'm excited about, but right now I am on a fitness journey of trying to push my competition level to the next stage, which is trying to gun for the fittest in Africa. Yeah,
Wow.
that is what I'm going for, and then hopefully as I go on, see if I can compete for the fittest man in the world.
Okay.
Fitness wise, that's what it holds for me, and I'm very excited about that. It's along the way, it's a whole lot of things that I'm going to learn that I'm excited about, and I mean, for me personally, even if I don't make it to a podium or whatever the case, it's just the experience of meeting the new athletes and the new level of like new cultures and new training styles and traveling the world and seeing new places, and that's just fun for me. I mean, fitness is pretty much my world right now. And so if I can see the world through that, that would be amazing. So that's the goal. That's what the future holds for me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So, Henry, I mean, I'm very impressed with you, with your fitness and everything. Obviously, that goes without saying. But I think what also really impresses me about you and what shines through in this interview is just your attitude and your positivity towards life and how you approach life. And I hope it has inspired everyone who's been listening and watching. And I wish you all the best, Henry.
Thank you so much, Kim.
And we look forward to seeing your progress within the fitness world and beyond.
Thank you so much. I look forward to that too.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
So we're going to say bye, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the program, then please make sure to like and share, and we'll have all of Henry's details in the show notes, so check that out as well. Until next time, take care. Bye.